And now to our countdown to Sochi. The competition begins in only 58 days, and Evan Lysacek, the reigning Olympic men's skating champion, is here to share some news. But before we get that, here is his rise to stardom.
Technically, he did everything he came to do.
It was a lifelong dream realized.
Evan Lysacek with the skate of his life.
Grabbing gold in Vancouver, beating out a favored Russian opponent. Evan Lysacek, always a friend of the Today Show.
She's embracing the character.
I am. I'm a bird.
Is known as much for his grace on the ice as his glamour. After the games, he competed on Dancing with the Stars. He hit red carpets and stayed off the ice. But then, 2 years later, he launched a comeback.
I hope to follow in the footsteps of our good friend Dick Button, who won back-to-back Olympic titles in 1948 and 52, and he was the last to do it. So, hoping to carry on that tradition. I'm feeling good. I'm back into full-on training, and this is my goal for the next year. I'm going to live this goal.
It hasn't been the easiest path for Lysacek. Now 28, he's suffered injuries and has not competed once since the Vancouver Games. Evan Lysacek, good morning. Welcome back. It's always good to have you here.
Thanks, Matt.
It hasn't been the easiest comeback. I think that may be an understatement. You've had a bunch of injuries. What's the latest?
Well, in August, I had an accident on the ice, and I suffered a labral tear in my left hip. But from the beginning, I was very clear with my doctors as to what my goals were, to be 100% healthy and prepared for Sochi, and before that to compete in December in a qualification event.
And you talk about this labral tear. It's a very painful injury for someone who does what you do. The stress and strain on a skater's hips is enormous.
Exactly. It affects that region of the body very much. But my doctors took an aggressive course of action with treatment and physical therapy, and we all remained very optimistic. In fact, I had no doubt that I would overcome this, just like I had the other injuries that I've had throughout my career, and I've overcome every single one of them. I was back on the ice in October doing light training, but as the training intensified, so did the pain, and it's become, in recent weeks, unmanageable.
Yeah, you had to make a decision, obviously. I mean, first of all, you can manage the pain, but it's not going to be the way you skate your best. There was a competition this month in Ukraine that you technically had to take part in to qualify for the Olympics, and so the news, unfortunately, is that you won't be in Sochi.
It's very difficult for me to say that, Matt, but my road to Sochi ends here. And a lot of what played into that decision was that my doctor warned me that if I continued to train with 100% certainty, the injury would get worse, the pain would get worse every single day, and I could be doing permanent and severe damage.
As you're sitting here, you're calm about this, but in speaking with your representatives, I know this has been an incredibly emotional decision for you. How are you feeling emotionally?
This has been my whole life, so it's difficult. It's a difficult decision for sure.
Can I ask you, does this mean you're retiring from the sport?
Well, right now my focus has to shift from training and preparing for Sochi to getting healthy and trying to heal this injury once and for all. And the last several weeks have been so painful for me that I don't want those to be my last moments on the ice after such a great career. I love to represent my country, and I'm determined to be healthy and skate again and really be the one that decides when it's over.
You talked about the fact that in the past you have skated through pain, but I think it's important to remind our viewers what is required of a figure skater at your level of competition. If you go to the Olympics, what are the required jumps that you've got to pull off to even be considered?
The jumps and the physicality of this sport are incredible, and I think people don't know that. They think it looks like ballet, but really it is among the most difficult and physical sports in the world. The torque is immense. It's sometimes up to 100 times your body weight in torque, and the training and the discipline that it takes are incredible. And people, I think, expect that to be an Olympic gold medalist, you have to work hard and be dedicated, but the level of sacrifice and discipline to live that lifestyle are immense, and I can't even put it into words, but it is what I love, and I've had some of the best moments of my life representing the United States. It's what gives me such pride.
You're the most decorated, or were the most decorated hopeful going into Sochi for the American team. How was it to break the news to your teammates?
My entire team has been extremely supportive. My family and friends have been very supportive. My sponsors have been extremely supportive. Each one of them have reached out to me individually and stated that they're behind me. So undoubtedly, I'm beginning now just, to come out of shock and start to process this, but I think I'll lean on that team a considerable amount.
Well, I know you're disappointed, but I just want to say you've given us so many amazing moments, Evan, and you should be only proud of your record, and we congratulate you for that.
Thanks.
All our best. And a reminder, NBC's coverage of the Olympic Games in Sochi will begin on February 6th.